I just heard that there were Asian beef pastries being made. Where am I? Oh, I love them, especially with chili sauce.
Today, Asian-style beef phyllo pastries, which are just little morsels of tastiness. So let's see what we need and let's get started. So I have my trays. With baking paper on them, oil, onion, beef, which I've defrosted, sweet and sour sauce, soy sauce, tomato, phyllo, egg, canola. Supposed to have coriander, but I don't have any, so I've got basil and parsley, minced garlic, and my 2 knives, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So I've got my beef here. I've got my tablespoon of oil, half a teaspoon of garlic, tablespoon of sweet and sour sauce, or any kind of sauce, and a tablespoon of soy sauce. Now I'm about to cut up my onion. So we only need 1/4. Oh, that one's a bit sad. It's all right, I'm not going to waste it. So we just cut up the bits that we don't want. Because I only need 1/4, so this is a half. So by the time I take out the middle bits that aren't all that flush, there we go, gone. Into my bowl, out of the way, keeping my work area clean. All right, so remember, we cut down. It's a bit hard because there's no middle. It just wants to collapse on me, but that's all right. On top, I can do it. Okay, I'll squish it down because that's the way it wants to go. Remember, in a rocking motion. It wasn't the nicest way, but it got done. So that is my onion. Now everything that's on that big board is going across to the stove, so it can all go at once. So onion gone. Now I've got tomato. It says only 1/4 of a tomato cut up. Because as we know, tomatoes have a lot of liquid in it. Actually, I'll change to my serrated knife because I find that easier to cut a tomato. As you can see, I've got the serrations along the edge there. Because the skin can be quite tough, and the serrated knife just makes it easier to cut through. So there's my tomato. Then with our herbs, remember, they've come straight out of the garden. So you chiffonade them first so that they do a big long cut. See, like there's chiffons. But then we cut them. Right, now my pan's been on a little bit, so I add my oil, and that won't take too long to heat up. So that was a tablespoon of oil. As you can see, it's running around pretty hot. If it's slow, you mean that it's not usually warm enough. So I'll just give that another second. You can tell that it's hot enough because of the sound. So that's going to cook for roughly 4 or 5 minutes until it's softened. Now I'm adding my garlic. It tends to spit, so I'm just going to put over it the mince so that I don't get spat at. So break up your mince with the back of the spoon. While it's browning. Now that'll take a good, 3 to 4 minutes. Now, I'm nice and happy with that. That's nice and browned and broken up enough to my liking. Then we add our tablespoon of sweet and sour sauce, or you could add sweet chili sauce, tomato sauce, barbecue sauce. They're not very Asian, but That's all right. You just use what you've got. So I'll stir them around. And I'm going to add tomato and the chopped herb. Smelling beautiful. So we're just going to cook that until the tomato softens and a little bit of those sauces have evaporated out. Right, my mince has sufficiently evaporated enough of the liquid off, and then I've just added my egg to it, and then I'm ready to start. Just spread it out a little bit just to cool it down. Get a little bit of cooked egg in there, it doesn't matter. Pastry is very, very fine and it dries out. So before I had to, this tea towel has got no moisture in it, it's been all wrung out. Otherwise you'll make your pastry go too soft. Now I've got 2 sheets here, I only want 1. As you can see, it's paper fine. I'm going to put it there, then I'm going to spray it. Now I'm going to add a second one on top. That also adds to the flour and the crispiness by having the oil in between. Try and get them even, but if you don't, that's okay. Okay, I'm going to put my tea towel back on top there. Now I'm going to cut this into 3. So cuts really easily, so you don't need a great big knife. 1, 2, 3. Now, so we place a small portion there. Then we bring this corner over to here, and you've made a triangle. Then you go straight, and you go across, you go down, you go across. So you just keep doing your pastry right down to the bottom. Then I'll add just a little bit of water to make it stick. Which I might cut that little bit off. So there we go, 1 done. So I'll do another one. So place a little bit on the top, a little bit more. Okay, so across, squish it down a little bit, down. The whole time you're keeping that triangular shape. Down, across, down, across, a little bit of water. And we're done. I'll just do 1 more for good luck. And then you can go off and do it. And then I'll show you what they look like at the end. So down, across, down, across, down, across. And we're done.